Today, we're going to be talking about a business model that no one talks about. It's not oversaturated and it will help you get ahead of the competition. I'll be giving you a step-by-step process into starting a web design agency, but you'll have to stay focused. So don't skip around, don't scroll through the comments, and let's get into it. Alright, let's begin by talking about, is running a business right for you? And I know that if you're at this stage right now and you're watching this video, then you probably already have determined that you're going to start a business. But you actually have to make sure that you're prepared for this, because even though it looks easy and you're going to make millions, in reality, the life of business is really tough. And so let's see if running a business is right for you. Running a business has some advantages and some disadvantages, obviously. The first point is location freedom, and so you're not tied up to one place. So let's say a recession happens in your country, or something really bad, or corruption, or whatever it is. You can easily just move to another country, you're not bound to a single place. The second point is time freedom, and you're not bound to any time constraints. So your income is not directly linked to your time. You're not trading time for money. Well, you are actually in the beginning, but after some time you can make it a bit more passive, and so you stop trading your time directly for money, meaning that you have more freed up time to either go into different business endeavors or to just relax. And trust me, the second one might be your downfall, because if you relax and you amass your millions, you're gonna lose them. You're gonna have to keep going. The game never ends. Number 3, it is a high return on investment, or ROI. You get much more profit than a traditional 9 to 5 job. And lastly, it's overall more flexible and you can enjoy your younger years more. You can travel more, you can chill more, and it just becomes more flexible. However, as I said, there are still big disadvantages for starting a business. It's not all easy like you think it is. So let's go over that. Number 1, more risk and potentially not make any income. When you work a 9 to 5 job, you know you're going to make money. You have a guaranteed salary. You're guaranteed to make that 2,000 a month, that 1,000 a month, whatever it is. When you're starting a business, you could go all in, spend tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions on an endeavor, and then it just doesn't work out. That's how the world of business is. It's harsh. It doesn't just give you money. You'll have to work really, really hard for it, and even if you do, sometimes you won't get it. It's risky. Number 2, you have to keep yourself accountable. And again, going back to the classic office job, you have a boss, and you know that if you don't do what you're supposed to do, the work that you're supposed to do, he will fire you. And so he keeps you accountable. He tells you to do that work. But when you're running a business, you have to keep yourself accountable. And some people might think this is a good point because you're your own boss. But it gets really difficult to keep yourself accountable and to keep moving when there's no one telling you what to do. The next point is greater mental strain. And as an entrepreneur, it's really difficult to get a peace of mind. You're always thinking, you're always making decisions. When you're working for someone, you don't really make any decisions. They just tell you, do this, and you just say yes, and you just do it. When you're working for yourself and you're an entrepreneur, it gets really mentally straining, and you can't handle it sometimes, because it's actually really difficult to be making life-changing decisions and important decisions 24/7. And last but not least, more responsibilities. As an entrepreneur, you're the boss, so you have much more responsibilities. You need to manage a team. You need to work on the business yourself. You need to hire a good team. You need to be a medium of communication. You need to be available for meetings. You have so many things on your hands, and you have the lives of many people who are depending on you. So it becomes really difficult to keep up with all the responsibilities. But still, I'm not trying to discourage you from starting a business, but I'm trying to tell you that it's not as easy as you think. And do with that information as you wish. Now, the next question is, what is a web design agency? And I know you might think it's just clear from the name, but let me just quickly explain it for you. It is a simple business model that requires less than $200 to start. So if you have $200 and you're willing to invest that into something which can make you lots and lots of money, then this is the thing for you. And basically what you do is you provide a service to clients in exchange for money. It's that simple. So you provide a web design for a client who needs it, and you take money in return for that. And then you arbitrage it, obviously, to a freelancer or contractor, and you bag the profits. That's all you do. And lastly, all you need is a laptop and an internet connection. If you have that, then you can work on it from anywhere in the world. So this is actually what provides you with the location freedom, because all you need is a laptop and internet, and the time freedom, because you don't really need to do much work after the first year or so. In the first year, you're gonna have to work really hard and spend countless hours on it if you want to actually succeed. Now that we've discussed what a web design agency is, let's discuss what it's not. So a web design agency, what it's not. A business that requires a lot of employees and a professional office. You don't need to rent out a big office building and get 20 employees and just sit them down and get them to do everything. It doesn't really require any of that. All it requires is just you, a laptop, and a contractor if you don't want to deliver the service yourself, which I actually recommend getting. Something that needs intense knowledge on web design. And this is because you get that information over time. Firstly, you'll never need intense knowledge over web design. That's what your contractor is there for, to have the intense knowledge and to do the work. But you still do need basic knowledge. So you know what to tell the clients, what to tell them that you're going to deliver to them, because if you don't understand it yourself, you can't explain it to the clients. And to get that basic understanding, usually you get it over time from different cold calls, different meetings with clients, different meetings with your contractor who will explain to you a few key points. So over time you will get it, and you don't need intense knowledge from the start. You don't even need basic knowledge in the start. You'll gain that over time. A way of getting rich easily. It requires a lot of hard work and dedication. As I said, after the first year or 2 or even 3 years, then you might be able to chill out a bit and not work on it. But in the beginning, if you actually want to reach profits, you need to put in the hard work. I told you it's not as easy as you think to start a business. You need to actually put in the hard work and effort if you want to succeed. And then later you can relax. But for the first year, 2 years, 3 years even, you just need to put your head down and work. That's all you need to do. Next, the requirements of starting a web design agency. Basic knowledge on web design. And you can gain this over time, as I said. And next, good communication skills. You need to be able to speak confidently and fluently when outreaching to customers, because that would make you seem more professional. If you're talking to them and just keep stuttering and not making your point clear to them, not explaining to them exactly what they want and how you're gonna give them that, then they just wouldn't want to buy your product. Remember, you're not trying to sell them. You're trying to make them want to buy the product. You want to make them think that it's an investment, and not make them think. You want it to actually be an investment for them. So when they get their website designed by you, they make more money off it than the investment that they will make into you. So it needs to be an investment for them. And that's why you need good communication skills, to be able to tell them that in a way which won't be too pushy or sales-like. Now next, well, I wouldn't say you need it, but it would be preferable if you have a silver tongue. And what a silver tongue is, for those of you who don't know, is just to have a way with words to be able to speak around things, and it's similar to communication skills, but it's more in depth. And you don't need this, but the better you are at swaying people and making them want to buy your service, the more sales you'll get. This gets better the more you outreach, so you don't need to have a silver tongue from when you start, but after some time, you will just gain that skill. And now the last requirement for starting a web design agency, and it is hard work and dedication. You need to not give up, because sometimes it takes you months or even a year, or actually even years to get results. And when you get that first result, everything picks up, because in reality, the graph for success is not linear. It's more of an exponential graph. So it looks like this. After a year, you might be over here, or a few months, or with how much ever it takes you to get your first sale. And after your first sale, your second, your third, your fourth. And then when you get here, you just go all the way up. Really quickly, the time it takes you to get to here, to barely make any progress, is the same time to take you to get all the way up here. This helps you realize the importance of actually staying dedicated, consistent, and just working hard to achieve. Because as we said, the time to get your first sale is the same amount of time to get to 20 sales. It's exponential. Now let's go through the step-by-step process of starting a web design agency. So this first step is finding your niche. You need to find a niche that you know a few things about, so you can explain to the owner why it would be beneficial to him to get his website designed in the terms of the industry. And what this means is, for example, me, I don't know anything about the makeup niche, So if I go talk to a makeup brand about how I'll help them increase their sales, I don't know anything about makeup, so I won't be able to tell them why a better website will help them get more women to want their eyeliner and that will get them more sales. I can't talk in niche specific terms because I don't understand them myself. So that's why it's always better to pick a niche which you know a bit about. Or you can research about a specific niche that you think is going to work even without knowing about it. Let's take this example. In your area, there's a niche which you know nothing about, but you are quite sure that this niche will actually work out and you'll make money off it. You think it's a popular niche and that there's a 90% chance that your business will succeed if you work in that niche. But there's also a niche which you know a lot about, but you think it's not going to succeed. Sometimes it's actually preferable to take the niche you know nothing about. Instead of diving straight into it, you research about that niche and you learn about the niche specific terms and you actually understand the niche. And so you can research about a specific niche, as I said, that you think is going to work. And then you can learn the niche specific terms from two ways. From the research which you made and over time. Two niches I would recommend is the restaurant niche and the gym niche. And this is because the restaurant niche really needs good websites so that their menus and their booking and the reservations actually look fancy, because this actually makes them so much more money and you can explain to them that in an easy way without even knowing much about the industry. And so that's why I really recommend the restaurant niche. Another niche I recommend, as I said, is the gym niche, because having a good website for a gym can actually differentiate them from their competitors. Because most people, when they want to look for a gym and they know nothing about the gyms in their area, they just go onto Google. They just go onto Google and type gyms near me, and then they just look at the gyms and they open like the first 5 gyms on the website which are like in their area, and they open their websites. And so having an attractive website actually helps the gym a lot to make more sales, because it will differentiate them, as I said, from their competitors. And so that will make them much more money, and so they'd want to invest their money into you. Now moving on to the second step, and it is finding a web designer. So let's go into detail about that. And how do you find a web designer, you might ask? Well, what I'd do is I'd go onto Fiverr and type WordPress website design. WordPress website design. I'd click enter. Now, you can just scroll through this and then click on a profile and start typing the message and tell them specifically what you want from them. However, what I prefer doing is using these fancy little filters. So firstly, minimum $0, obviously. Now maximum, you can put whatever you want, because the pricing for the service will be between 600 to 1,500. I'll be talking in more detail about the price, but for the web designer himself, what I'd recommend is anywhere between $100 to $300. But what you should remember is that the website designer is going to design your own website first before designing your clients' websites, and so that's the main part of your initial investment. So if you have $500 to invest into the business to start, then I definitely recommend going $300. But if you only have $200, then just make the $150, for example, and click apply. Then for the details, we need them obviously to speak English. For the service options, you can tweak this yourself and do this yourself. I'm not going to tell you exactly what you need, but what I usually like to do is responsive design, content upload, functional website, speed optimization, payment processing, booking, frequently asked questions, memberships, and some other things, but these are just the basics. And you click apply, and then you see these guys. And let's just look at this guy, for example. So here, I will create a responsive WordPress website design or blog. Functional website, exactly, 10 pages, what we need, responsive design, content upload, e-commerce, and some other cool features which you'll need. And you look at this, you say, okay, this guy looks like he's good. Look at his portfolio. His websites look quite professional and decent. And so when you're happy with his work, you're happy with his price, and you see that he'll give you everything you need for the niche that you're targeting. As I said, I'm targeting the gym niche, so I need an opt-in form and booking and payment processing, and so this guy is perfect for me. Now I've already talked to this guy and tried to hire him before I found another guy, so let's actually just message this guy, Mobeen Hashmi. So we go to contact me, ask a question. and you get this little box. And this is what I recommend saying. I run a website design agency where I create websites for gyms. I'm looking for a website designer suited for this. So if you're interested, then every time I get an order, I'll tell you in detail what the customer wants and order a website on their behalf on Fiverr. If you're interested, then I'll place your portfolio in my website design agency's portfolio so people can know that their websites are being designed by a professional like you. And this part's actually really important because let's say you call someone and you'll get them to invest money into your website design agency services, but you might actually lose that client if you don't have a portfolio, because he might be hooked and he wants to, but when he checks your website he sees that you don't have a portfolio, you might be untrustworthy, or you might, like, there's no proof to him that you're gonna design a good website. So that's why you need a web designer with a good portfolio, and that will allow you to put their portfolio into your website. More transactions will be through Fiverr. If you're interested, then reply to this message, and most people will reply to it in a positive way and they'll be interested in working with you. And then you tell them some other stuff, tell them exactly what you need. Then after that, get onto a Zoom call with them, discuss the terms, and most of the times they'll give you a discount. So it's we said $250. Most of the time he'll bring it down to $150 for you, because he knows that you're gonna bring in a lot of clients as your website design agency. So he's not just designing it for you, he's designing it for all of your clients. After you've gotten onto a meeting call with him and then he becomes your contractor, you'd move on to the next step, which is finding clients and outreach. So search on Google gyms near me or gyms in New York City, for example. Then open a Google Sheets and write down the business name and their phone number, email, or Instagram account, whatever you can get, and write down 30 gyms. So this is an example: business name, contact info. Then after that, you'll go to Google and type in gyms in New York City. You'll go to maps, and then you see all these gyms. So basically what you do is go here and you go to their website, then go to contact us. Here's their phone number. So talk to us, 646-832-478. So you'd copy that and then boom, you'd paste it into the spreadsheet here and type Oculus Fitness. And you do that for all these gyms until you get 30 gyms into this sheet. The next step is to call the gyms and tell them how you're going to help them gain more customers by designing a professional website for them. And firstly, I'd really recommend cold calling over sending an email with a Loom or DMing on Instagram, because cold calling allows you to get personal and allows you to actually sway them with your words, so it becomes much easier to actually get a client. However, you'll have to invest more time to this and more effort, but trust me, it's a change worth making to go to cold calls. Now, the fourth thing you should do is book a Zoom call with them. And just after you're done telling them why you're going to make them money and they are convinced, tell them, I'm not trying to make you pay now. Instead, let's book a 15-minute Zoom call where we can discuss the details of this and get to an agreed conclusion. And if he says okay, then tell them, okay, then send me your email so I can send you the link 30 minutes before the Zoom call, and agree on a time with them, basically. Last but not least, after you've done all of this, make a third column in the Google Sheets and write down the response of each gym owner. There are a few options which you are going to go through. So there are a few things that can happen to you. Number one, did no one pick up the phone? That's the first thing. Secondly, did someone pick up the phone but it was a secretary and not the owner, so you wouldn't want to talk to them? Thirdly, did the owner himself pick up the phone and then decline your offer? Fourthly, did the owner pick up the phone and accepted your deal and went through to a Zoom meeting with you, but declined in the end? Or did he accept it all the way through and you got a client? These are the 5 scenarios that can happen. And so for each gym, write down the scenario that happened, so after a while you can use this data to analyze where you're going wrong. Now here's a good script which I like to use to get a client, and it's a really good script in cold calls because it keeps the client interested and you show them exactly why they need your business. So let's begin. Hi, am I talking to the owner of X gym? I'll be honest, this is a business call, so I have something to pitch your business. Do you want to hang up now or give me about 30 seconds of your time and then you can decide? Thanks, mate. So let me introduce myself. My name is Blank, owner of Blank, and practically what we do with my agency is design websites that are not only visually appealing, but also user-friendly, mobile-friendly, and optimized for search engines. With the new online era, having a strong online presence is crucial for the success of any business. A professionally designed website can be the difference between a customer choosing your gym or your competitors. Now usually they're going to ask for the price, so what you'd say is, the pricing for our service is usually $1,000 per website. However, for a limited time, we've decided to offer our services for a discounted price of $650. Now you can substitute these values with whatever you want, or you can just not even include the discount. I sometimes like to include it to make them feel the sense of urgency. Only available if you order the website within the next 2 days. This price includes the design of your website and the first year of the domain and website builder. If they accept, then you'd say, alright, then we can book a quick 15-minute Zoom call and discuss the details. And then you guys would discuss the timing. Thanks. One last thing, could you give me your email so I can send you the meeting link 30 minutes before the discussed time? If the meeting starts and you're not there, then I'll give you a quick call back to this number to remind you of the meeting. Alright, thank you. Goodbye. And this is a really good script I really like using, and I recommend that you don't use the exact same one, but you tweak it a bit and give it your own personal touch. It's a really good script. And last but not least, step 4, meeting. So firstly, meetings will obviously be through Zoom, all of it will be digital, nothing physical. You'll explain your value proposition to the owner and tell him why you're making money. And obviously you can just start talking about how an online presence is important and how to help customers choose him over his competitors. Really simple and basic. But more importantly, rather than saying, I'm going to make you money and help you beat your competition, you need to give him values. So for example, a way to do this is, let's say a newly designed website only brings you 10 clients a month. That's only 10 clients. And I'm telling you, the website will make you more than 10 clients a month, but let's say you only get 10 clients a month more from this. So that's an extra $500 a month of revenue to your business. And how much did I say I'm charging you? $1,000? Well, you'll be making back your investment in 2 months. All you need is 2 months and you'll make back your investment. And after that, everything will be profit. And pay attention to the choice of words that I used. I said investment, not cost, because this $1,000 isn't going to be something which is going to lose you money. It's going to be not a long term, a short term investment that will make you money for the rest of your life. Now, to you guys, tell me, what business owner will say no to that? You've given him statistics that you're going to make him money. Then last but not least, tell him how much you're charging for your services, which I recommend around $1,000. And then get him to send you the payment then and there. And sum up how to close a client, because this is actually the most important step. Everything before is a waste of time if you can't close the client in the end. So I'll just sum up how to close a client in 4 key steps. Number 1, listen. Before starting to rabble about how you're going to make him money, listen to him. Listen to the problems that his business is going through or how he's making lots of money right now. And try to help him with his problems rather than just talking 24/7. Give him the chance to tell you what's wrong. The second step, convince. And then now is the part where you just tell him why you're going to make him money and convince him. Now the third step, logic. Logic is really important. Logic is really important, and it's basically what I told you, how you're going to make him $50 a month per client and you're going to get him 10 clients. So that's $500 a month. And then he's going to make back his investment. So you just give him the statistics when it comes to logic. And the last part is close. Tell him about the payments, how you're going to process it, and just get him into the deal. And now, last but not least, the final step, fulfilling customers, giving them what you promised. Firstly, do not accept anything under 50% of the payment before. So if the payment was $1,000, then don't accept anything under $500 before you deliver the service. Pay the agreed price to your freelancer, which is, as we said, $200. And tell him the exact details of how the client wants his website. And when it's ready, give your feedback and make sure that the website is perfect. And so from the $500 you were given, pay the freelancer your $200, and now you have the first $300 of profits. Now go into another Zoom call with the client after everything, show him the website and get him to pay you the second half, then give him access to the website. And that way you'll be making the other $500, and now boom, you have $800 of profit from just one client. And then tell him to refer you to friends. And this is actually why it compounds. Like I said, I told you that after the first sale it picks up really quickly, and because when you satisfy one customer, he'll bring 10 other customers for you. That's how powerful the word of mouth is. So make sure that your services are actually useful and they're really high quality websites, so that when the client receives the website, he sees the results that you promised him, and so he'll refer you to his friends. And congrats for making it to the end. I know it was really difficult for you, but I hope this video was valuable and informational for you, and that you're actually going to act upon the information that I gave you and try to make money off this. And how to actually make 10K a month from this? Well, it's quite easy. $800 a sale, 15 sales a month, boom, that's like 12K, 13K a month. And then after a while, I'll make a video on how to actually scale this business and reach 100K and a million a month. But this will be for another video. As always, thanks for watching, and remember, don't give up, no matter what.